Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of the Signal Box and welcome to the railway today. Brilliant to have you with me and thank you very much for joining me in the video today. Wherever you are, don't forget to hit the good old like and subscribe button and we'll crack on with today's video. So this is Scenic update number 2. As the title suggests, I've been doing some Scenic updates recently and I hope you enjoy them. Anyway, I've really been hard at it this morning. I actually set the layout up around about just before 10 o'clock this morning, got everything on the board and started to wire up and everything and connect up. So this is the first opportunity this afternoon I've actually run trains. The time now, local time in where I am now in London is, where is it? It's almost 20 to 3 in the afternoon. So as you can see, this is the first time I've actually got trains running today for you guys because I've been so busy with some scenery, and I'll just take you through a tour. So the first thing is, on my last video, if you remember, I went on a bit of a tangent about Scenics. Not so much them, but their crappy courier service. Well, they actually turned up on Wednesday of this week, and today's Saturday. So Wednesday afternoon, about 2:30, it turned up via the courier, and I wasted no time, baseboard up, and cracked on. So let's take you on a tour of the static grass, or the first attempt. Let's have a look, shall we? Let's see what's transpired. We'll come over here and I'll pan in with the camera. So we'll start in this area over here. So that don't look too bad. I've got to put some more around that corner there, and I'll explain a little bit more about that in a minute. But I'll just let the camera take you on a little tour of my first application of static grass. Hopefully you can see the difference at home as much as I can, but it doesn't do it justice. It really is very good stuff. I'll just come as best I can with the camera. I think it looks a definite improvement. And then if I come out here and we turn around this way, we go from the staff hall across the level crossing into the depot. And then we'll come back out with the camera and then we'll just go across up to where the water tower now lives, which is there. As you can see, look at that, what a perfect little placement for that. As we said the other day in the other video, much better I think. We've got a little bit of wild grass there, been patchy in places, and also dried grass as well. I think that looks very nice. I'm pleased with that. For a first attempt, yeah, it's come out not bad, I think. Looks quite nice. And then if we come back out with the camera, come back along here, As you can see from that shot, you can see it's there. It looks much better. That's a better shot actually. It's best appreciated from a reasonable sort of distance as well as a close-up. The more you look at it from a distance, the more realistic I think it does look. It's a very premium grass layering system from Scenics. I can't praise them enough. They are a very good company. I know the other day I was ranting, but I wasn't really ranting about them specifically. It was more so their useless courier company, which they shouldn't be using no more. So if we come back round where the windmill is now, we'll see there you go, from that shot there you can see it looks much nicer there. Very pleased with that. So we'll come back out, and now we'll go along past up to the water mill. I gave the little duck's pond there a little quick gloss over with some Humbrol varnish I found in my paint box, a brand new little tinlet, so I gave that a bit of a wash over. But it's my intention to buy some Woodland Scenic realistic water product. I've had it before on my old layouts, brilliant stuff. A little bit pricey at £31 something a jar of it, or a bottle, whatever you like to call it. It's quite a medium-sized bottle, but it's like a very clear resin, and you can buy it coloured as well, or a colouring kit to colour it. But it is a very good product. I usually use the clear stuff they produce, which is fantastic. You get some fantastic results with it. So I think that's the next step, is to buy a jar of that and go over this again. And also I did put a little bit of varnish on the canal last night as well. You can see a little bit there I've added, makes it look a little bit more wetter. But again, we're going to put some of that resin stuff in there, which will really make it pop and bring a bit of depth to it as well. So if we come out back over that area there, and as you can see, plenty of grassy in there for the old moo cows to chew on. And now we'll go across the level crossing, and we'll go along the line side here with the camera. Very pleased with that. Yeah, I think that is about as best as I can get. I'll show you a little interesting bit of modelling I did last night and today actually. This area here, the static grass, if I bring the camera in and looking at that shot there, we've got a little bit of a black and burnt area there. And that's because last week there was a line side fire, because one of the steam locos went past and chucked a lot of hot ashes out and cinders, and it caught a little bit of the banker light there, as you can see. But our dear old loyal signalman up in his signal box over there, he saw what happened. He quickly dashed out with a couple of buckets of water, and he went and put the fire out, bless him. So he put it all out, but there's a little bit of scorched grass there and a little bit of burnt fencing where it's caught the back of the fence alight as well there. And we're going to get that fence replaced by another company at some stage. We'll come in and do that. But a little idea for you guys: if you're laying static grass on your model railway and it's a first time experience for you, or you're seasoned, little things like this you need to model, especially if you've got steam locos running about on your layout and you've set it in a sort of a 1950s 60s when there was still steam, mixture of steam and diesel like mine. A little trick: why don't you model something real that happens in reality with a steam loco and grass? It catches the damn stuff alight, trust me. So why not model it? Very easy little tip. All you do, I took a couple of dabs of black paint after I'd got a very pair of sharp scissors and just trimmed the static grass down to the bare baseboard, and then gone over it with some black matte paint from Rail Match, and then gave it about 2 coats of that, and we're all sorted out. There we go. And there's our line side fire remains. Okay, moving on. What else did I do? Well, the big scenic update, apart from the static grass that's now in place, is I've been doing some real estate work, which means I've been building some extensions. Oh dear, they say. What have you built this time? Well, I'll show you. So I've added this little bit of prime real estate now. Again, simple. I had this offcut of wood And basically I built some battens underneath for it to screw and be glued to. So that's screwed underneath there, that's screwed underneath there, and obviously they're screwed underneath the baseboard with a couple of screws, only 2 there. But obviously they're now permanently attached, so the whole thing is permanently attached to the side of the baseboard, just as much as I've done the main extension really. And it's all there, it's not going to affect the baseboard integrity. When I take everything up, it's going to be nicely firmly attached there, and it will stay there for forever. So what I intend to do, I think, is that crossing keeper's cottage that used to be up the other end, which we'll go to and look in a minute. I think I'm going to put that roughly about there. And I thought a little public vote on the video today. I know there have a lot of different people watch my channel, and obviously the regular subscribers, big thumbs up and hi to you guys out there, thank you so much. But what do you think about this one? Why not put, say, here in this area, do a static grass area, and then put a children's play park with some swings or something, with a little bit of green fencing around there like that, a set of swings, a little slide or something in there, a little park for the kids. I think that would be a great idea. Something like that I could do. This static grass stuff is very, very good stuff, and I'll talk to you a bit more about that in a mo. So I've got this little bit of land as it was available now. The paint's almost dry, it's pretty much touch dry. I'm not going to overcoat it because most of this area will be covered by buildings and also some static grass, but I just want to match it in with that because I've got absolutely tons of this road colour paint left over. So we're going to do that. So I'm going to put something there. Anyway, what I've done as well, if we come back up to the layout this way, I'll show you a few interesting things that I've been doing. Oh, I almost missed it. I almost missed it. See if you can guess what this is, what I've scratch built or modelled. I'll come down with the camera. Are you ready? Right. What's that? What is that object there? That tall lamppost looking thing, but it's not a lamppost. But they are about. Now I live in South London in the UK, and there's quite a few about in my area, and I'll give you a clue. They were made by the Victorians. They're normally cast iron, but they are about still. I am not sure if in any other countries around the world you've got them. Normally they're I'll give you a clue. If you live in America, for example, they're normally found on top of your roof. They're to do with your toilet system. There you go, big clue. Do you know what it is? If you do, put it in the comments box below, even if I'm going to say it in a minute. That is a stink pipe. Now, I've never seen a model railway with one of those on there. People forget to model things like that in the street furniture. If there is a model railway out there that's got stink pipes or 00 scale style stink pipes, then brilliant. Then that's fantastic. But I've not seen one. But I just come up with the idea. I thought, you know what? Let's put a stink pipe on there. And why did I put one of those there? Well, because not these street lamps, but the other new ones that I bought. Believe it or not, there was a couple of duds in there, which was a bit naughty. When I went to test them last night, there was about 4 duds that actually didn't work. I got a 9-volt battery and put the resistor on the end of one of the wires and then tested it. And lo and behold, there was about 4 in there that actually didn't light up. So they were a duff. So that wasn't really a good thing from the seller. So I should really sit down and test. You shouldn't have to test every single lamp when you buy these things, but hey ho, it happens. So I thought, well, you know what, rather than throw it away, what can we do with the base and with the pipe? So let's make some stink pipes. There's one stink pipe there. And let's come out a little bit and we'll come up this way, back up the railway. And where's the other stink pipe? I did put it somewhere. I can't even think where I put it now. What did I do with it? I can't think about where I put it. We'll find it in a minute, but I know I put another one about and it hasn't gone far. Did I put it down somewhere? No. Just lifting that building up off camera. Do you know what? I can't even think where I put it. Did I put 2 out or not? Here's the thing. I cannot think where I put it. Anyway, the plot thickens. Well, I'll try and locate that in a minute. Anyway, let's carry on with the video. Here we go. Here's the doctor's surgery. This is now in place of the crossing keeper's cottage. There it is. There's Dr. Ingle's surgery there. I think that looks better there. I know you saw it in the last video, but I've added some static grass on the edge there, and I've also done the front garden a little bit there. Dropped in some bluebells as well in the front garden. That looks quite all right. I've got to get rid of that Greystone Farm sign above the door there. I'm gonna pencil that out or do something with it. Put something else there. Put a little flower garland or something there to cover that name, because it's no longer a farm, it's a doctor's surgery. So there we are. Okay, so I'm just trying to work out where I put that other stink pipe. It's causing such a stink, it really is. I did put it somewhere. Anyway, we'll find it in a bit anyway. Oh, I know where it is. I just remembered, so sorry. I've been so busy, you see, all day doing things. I forget where I put things, but here we go. I've put it, it lives over there. There's the other one. There's the second stink pipe. What a stink. Anyway, yeah, Victorian stink pipes, very easily done. Cut yourself off one of those from an old lamp or street furniture. You can actually make one of those out of a bit of copper pipe or plastic pipe or something. You can make one of those. What else did I do? A crafty craft makers today. I show you what else I made. I made this. This is all scratch built again from an old lamp post. It's just drying there at the bottom of the base of the PVA glue there, but that's my attempt at a Carter's World War II air raid siren. I'm not sure. I think it should be a little bit taller. Normally they were a lot taller, so I'm thinking maybe I might need to remodel that. Just a little idea I was coming up with, but I've put it there anyway. But normally these were at least the height of that church roof. I think yeah, they were. Because when I lived in East London, when I lived in Leytonstone, we had one down the road at a place called the Thatched House on the corner of Crownfield Road. There was a big tall one used to go off every morning. I think they used to test it, or it was for the factory workers or whatever, but I remember that very specifically. But yeah, I think I need to make that a bit taller. But just an idea I've been toying with, so there we go. Okay, the churchyard is another massive area that I static grassed on Wednesday. I'll bring you in now and show you that. So there's the church, so we'll zoom out. And there is our static grass. We've got the showman's engines and the traction engine sitting on the driveway, but that looks pretty good. I'm quite happy with that. Some dead grass there as well. And the way you do it basically with static grass is you come in with your basing glue. Again, there's a video on YouTube from Scenic showing you how to do it, but basically you start off with a 2mm spring green, then you go into a 4mm summer green, a darker green shade, then you go with a 4mm patchy grass, and then you come in with back to the 2mm summer grass, and then you go up to 6mm like a dried grass, and that's what you achieve. And I think that looks quite good. And some of you out there might say, well, if it's static grass, why is it not all standing up? Well, It is standing up in some places, but if you look at grass in real life, it doesn't stick all uniformly straight up in the air. Some of it does, some of it lies at an angle, some of it sits at an angle, some of it's flat. If you go anywhere you are in the world and look at a patch of grass, also there's a couple of things you'll notice with real grass outside. Number one, it varies in texture, it varies in size and height, and it also varies in texture and tone. So you've got, it's not always uniformly green unless you've got a sort of a bowling lawn or an immaculately well kept lawn. Normally your average grass patch outside in parks and buildings and around sort of churchyards, they're quite wild or unkept, especially in the nature of churchyards. This is what I want to do, a sort of a wild overgrown bit at the back there, which I think looks good. If we come around here with the camera, there's even nice little more bit of detail around the side here. I'll show you this nice little bit I did, which is there. So I'm pleased with the way that's come out. That looks pretty cool. I'll try and get the camera a bit closer. Again, that was the sand that I put down the other night and showed you guys. Once it went off, I gave it a wash of acrylic watercolours, dark brown, 2 lots of that, and then basically I went over the top with some Rail Match Sleeper Grime. And once it dried, I went over it again with some more Rail Match Sleeper Grime, and that is that. And I think that looks pretty good. It's not meant to be muddy, but a dark earth sort of a colour. But I'm quite happy with that so far. There's more to do on it, believe it or not. There is loads to do I've got to do on this. There's quite a lot to do. If you'll notice over in this area, for example, up near where those 2 boulders are, up there, that area, there's no static grass, and that's there for a reason, because that's quite a tight area, and basically the static grass applicator that you get from Scenics, the one that I got with the grass kit and the glue and the spray as a kit, it's quite a medium-sized hopper, and they do a very fine scale applicator called the detailer, which is about the size, I don't know, of a 10p piece. It's quite a small applicator, and it's designed, as it says, for doing very fine scale detail work in tight spaces. So for example, if we come over here with the camera up the main line, as it were, if we look at this set of switches, from where that tree stands to the right of it, along the fence line and round that curve all the way along there up to the tunnel, and then on the opposite road all the way back across near the bridge, and then other side the bridge near the pub, that bit of fence, and all the way along there past the foot crossing and up to where the static grass stops there. To do that job, as you can see from that shot there with my camera today, that's quite a tight space, and to put in a very small narrow beading of static grass just up to the sleeper ends a little bit, from the fence line just shy of the sleeper ends, that requires a very, very fine scale, very small head in terms of static grass applicator. And like I said, thank goodness that Scenics do a thing called the detailer. It's a much smaller version, the skinnier version of the beefier static grass applicator that comes with the kit that I bought. Things like the tunnel will get some static grass on there. Again, another day, another project. That's quite a big project to do. Not really, but I haven't got the grass anymore. It's all gone virtually. So again, I've got to order some more static grass, and I've also got to order the detailer to get on with and crack on with the next bit. So there's loads to do on the railway, as you can see, in terms of more static grass work in some tight places around those curves to bring that into the fore, as it were, on both sides in the cess area. Might have put a little bit in the 10-foot as well, where I did put some original dark green scatter material there. That will look nice if I put a tiny patch of static grass in there. Again, lots of work to do with the detailer when I get it, and also I do need some more static grass mix, because it's virtually all gone. But it's very, very easy to use. I won't do a video on how to apply static grass, but if you're interested and you like what you've seen today on my railway and you think, well, you know, that don't look too bad, then certainly what I'll do in the description box below this video, I'll stick a link to the Scenics tutorial video of how to apply static grass, how it works, and obviously you can go and check it out for yourself. That's what really got me into buying this product and having a go myself, because I think it's really, really, really good, and it does produce some excellent results. It's basically like I said, a pro grass layering system. So it's basically, once you put the basing glue down, then you basically, it's just spray static grass, spray static grass, spray static grass. You build it up in layers, and the lacquer they give you, it's very, 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 very strong. So you don't have to wait for it to dry. You just do it, and then that's it. And then you just wait about 4 hours for the whole thing to finish. But it is very, very good, and it does produce some very good results. This bit particularly here, I'm very pleased with. As you can see, I'm not sure if the camera will pick it up today for you guys, but you can see, for example, in that shot there, I'll come down at eye level, as it were, track level as best I can, so you can really appreciate and see, maybe there. So we've got a mixture of dried grass, patchy grass, spring grass, light green and dark green grass, with some dead grass thrown in there as well, and it really does highlight that, like a nice sort of patchy bits of new grass, a little bit in the forefoot there, and it really does bring that whole scene there. I think it makes it look much better. Definite improvement, I think. Yeah, that looks much better. So yep, very pleased with that. The only thing I would say with static grass, before we run some trains, we've definitely got to run some trains in a minute, because you want to see it go around through my new scenery. So do I. But what I will say is, with static grass, as wonderful as it is, and as great and fantastic a company as Scenics in Swansea, all that good stuff, but there are some precautionary measures that I found out the hard way with this stuff. Obviously, when I did my static grass along the side of the track there around the curve, the first thing I did was I got some thick masking tape, and I masked off all my track concerning, so it wouldn't stick to any of the track. And the other thing as well, that the problem is when you put the basing glue down, which is the stuff that you build the first layer up on, as you build it up, in terms of you spray it, then you static grass, spray, static grass, spray. Well, as you spray everything, what happens is the varnish in the lacquer spray tends to overspray onto other things that are in the area adjacent to the area you're static grassing, i.e. buildings, line side things, whatever you name it. If they're not removable, what happens is when you go and static grass the next layer, by the time you've done the job, you've got like an abominable snowman effect on something line side or whatever it is that's not there, is now static grassed. So you got to then come along, what I did with a dry brush, and just quickly brush it off. It's a bit sticky, and then you have to really sort of clean it up with a bit of hot water and some washing up liquid I went over a few things with. But a little bit of a pain, but once it's done, it's done. But unfortunately, the other thing that I would say in my defence is that, don't forget, I've static grassed this model railway after things had been put in place and the layout was already sort of as it is. So the idea is, if you're going to build a model railway and there's things that you can remove and do so, then start off with that first, rather than leave things in place and static grass around them. You can use the detailer, which I'm going to spotlight and highlight and showcase in one of my next videos. When I get it, I'll do a video and I'll show you how to get into the tight places with it. But I think when you use quite a medium to large head on the applicator, what it does, it gives you like an overlay amount in the area. If it's a small area, you will get overspill of static grass, but it's easily done because, like I said, because you've got a large head and you're trying to do like a tiny area like this. You're trying to go in a very small space with a large head on the hopper, and it basically will only static grass that radius of the head, or wherever you shape the static grass applicator, wherever you move it, it will static grass that area. That's why the detailer is such an important item to have in the future. If you've got tight spaces like me, you want to still do, that's the way forward. But it's a learning curve. I've learnt my own lesson from that, and I thought, okay, I was going to get it originally, but it didn't come with the kit, whereas the one that I got came with a bundle where you get the spray, the glue, about 5 packs of grass, and the applicator for one hit. Whereas the detailer, I think, is a separate standalone applicator you have to buy separately. But hey ho, it's a learning curve. But I've really seriously had serious fun with this over the last couple of days doing this. I really have enjoyed it, and that's what it's about. Not to take it too seriously, and just enjoy it and just experiment and try something new and see what happens. And this is a very, very good result. I'm very happy with this first application so far. And the great thing about this layering system from Scenics is that now this is down on my baseboard on my railway, it's all dried, and if the grass is sticking up too much, or it's obstructing a wagon or a loco or something that's just clipping it slightly, you can just literally take your finger and you literally can just press it and tamp it down into place, or just push it over and it will stay there. It's a great product. Just make sure that it's in place. What I did afterwards on my static grass work is, after it was all in place and I'd finally finished, I think I came back the next day and gave it a quick blast of the fixing spray they give you with the kit, just a very, very light mist quick over it to give it further strength and further adhesion. So yeah, and the great thing about this as well is that I can now add on top of this still even more. So if I want to get some different static grass effects, some different flock material from Scenics, I can go over this again and layer it up even further with some sprinkled meadow flowers and all kinds of good things I can put on top of this. It's very easy to use, and again, it's a layering system, which means you can go on top of this and you can do a lot. So yeah, that don't look too bad. I've put a few veggies in the back garden there. Maybe the old doctor's trying to grow some vegetables there, I don't know. But yeah, so far so good. Not bad for a first attempt. There's even been a line side fire there. Look at that, the old bank's been on fire there. So yeah, not bad for a first go, eh? And like I said, if you look at that shot there, looking down the main line past the back gardens there, grass is never uniformly neat and all one colour, all one size, all one texture. Certainly not railway line side grass. It's always patchy, burnt, dried, where it's been there a long time. Little bits of green, fresh grass, and you've got old grass. It looks very, very different to, say, like I said, a bowling green or a nice tennis lawn or your own immaculately groomed American style lawns. That's not what we're going for here. This is meant to be the English countryside of Essex, somewhere up near Cambridge. So this is how it would have looked maybe in the 1950s. But anyway, I think it looks good. So I think what I'll do now is we'll get some trains running. So we've got one on the platform ready to go, so we'll get that away. A nice little 57 XX class Great Western pannier with a couple of coaches coming round now. Okay, so the other thing I was going to talk to you about today, or just an idea, I really am toying with the idea of just repainting this level crossing surface to match the road either side, because obviously the road is that colour there, and you go over and that little single track crossing over the other side of the road, it all matches the road, whereas that it just is completely different. You've just got road markings there in the middle of the road that don't correspond with road markings that side or that side. So I think what I'm going to do, to be honest with you, I've been toying with the idea, if you're going to have a modern surface level crossing roadway like that, you need to have the road markings on the other side, either side of it, so it matches up, so it's in unison, just like the real thing on the road. It doesn't look right to me personally where you've got those road markings like that and just a plain road surface the other side. It doesn't really sort of blend in too much. I'm not worried about the ends of the crossing, the ramp ends that sit off the side where the drainage and the gates go either side of it. It's the main road markings on there that I'm not too happy with, so I think I'm going to tackle that. Okay folks, time has definitely elapsed since the last camera shot. There's a bit of a continuity error because it's dark outside and my watch says almost 6 o'clock in the evening, and I've been busy, and I said I would do it and I did it. So there we go, there's the new level crossing surface, all painted, all dried, and as if by a cue, there goes a train across it. And being St David's Day today, there comes Daisy, or there goes Daisy, just across the crossing there, rumbling away. Yeah, you can see what I mean though guys, from that shot there. You can see that matches the road surface much better, and as it's drying further it will go darker as well, but that's definitely an improvement. I mean, look at that. If you saw how, if you zip back a few frames in this video and see how it was and now how it is now, that's a definite improvement. I think so anyway. It's definitely much better. It matches the road surface though, doesn't it? It's all fluid across from one side to the other. That's how it should be. And yeah, very happy with that. And regarding the old Carter World War II air raid siren, I told you I'd remake it, so I did. I made another one. There it is. That's the proper height for it as well. That was actually easier to make. That was just a very long piece of wooden stick I had, and also the top bit, believe it or not, is a wooden dowel that you put in furniture. I just drilled and cut it and painted it. And yeah, that's much more better. So there's our remnants of post-war Britain. That Carter air raid siren there. I'm sure that would be very happily heard in church if you were sitting in the evening service and that went off right outside the church window. But anyway, I think that looks good there, and I don't often see those modelled on a model railway, as with the stink pipes earlier. And yeah, very happy with that. So I'm just going to make use of the little time I got left now and run some trains. It's going to be a late one tonight, I think, for me, putting this away. Much before 9 o'clock, I think, because I haven't run any trains today and actually enjoyed the layout because I've been so busy modelling and painting stuff and trimming and stuff and just tidying up from this past week's static grass episode. I haven't had time to actually sit down properly with this railway and sort things out and get things running. But in the next video I'll do, there'll be definitely loads more trains to have more time, but I don't get that much time. This week has been a bit crazy because my daughter's been on her 2 weeks school holiday. Her school has every 6 weeks, then 2 weeks off. So she does 6 weeks on, 2 weeks off all year round. And obviously she gets summertime and Christmas off. But her school timetable denotes that after 6 weeks at school, she automatically, her and every single school campus, all the staff, all the kids, they all get a 2 week break, which is nice for her and it's nice for me sometimes, but I don't get to have that much time to myself when she's at home. Been taking her out and spending time with her, obviously. But the hobby is here, and I've enjoyed it today. I've really had a great day between myself and yourselves, just with modelling and getting things done and Really happy with the way the layout is going so far. It's transforming slowly but surely. Yeah, really happy. So there we go. I think the next project I'm going to do in terms of modelling is, obviously, apart from getting the Scenics detailer, the very fine scale applicator for the static grass as mentioned, and some more grass to go with it, I'm thinking about building a secondary level crossing, and it's going to be just in that area where the rear of that Route Master red bus is. That's roughly where the crossing's going to go, across those 3 roads there. It might be a bit tight, but the only thing I'm thinking of, it might not be operational in terms of, well, this one down here, you can manually, physically open and close the gates, but on the one that I would put over there, it would just be a static display. Just a little idea I was toying with, putting some more crossing gates over there. But we'll see. We'll have to sort of fathom it out and see what goes. But that's the least of my worries right now. The other serious project is getting the Scenics detailer little machine, as mentioned, and carrying on further around that curve there, alongside the pub, up to the tunnel on both sides of the layout, that side, and coming over on that rear corner over there by the trees, and some little places hither and thither that I can't get to with a large static grass machine. You need the fine scale one, and I think that's what I'm going to do. In the meantime, there we go. Anyway, I'll shush now and we'll try and get some more trains running. Okay, another little last minute modelling idea is I found this plate layers hut the other day, which I gave a bit of a wash of sleeper grime and weathering powders. It's an old Hornby plasticky P-way hut, and I've put it there in between the wideway and the 10 foot there. It's very tight, but just about a fraction of the clearance required, just about around there. That's okay. Main thing is I've got clearance to passing trains, that's what's important. But what a very unique place for a plate layers hut, because you can go in there, have a crafty skive, cross the track, go across the footpath, the walkboards there, straight into the railway arms there, have a few jars, come back out legless, stumble into the P-way hut and kit there for the rest of the day. Oh dear, what am I saying? What am I insinuating? Oh dear. Anyway, I thought it looked a nice little building there anyway. It fills that little generous 10 foot there. That's what it is, a 10 foot wideway by BR standards. Whereas you've got, that there would be a 6 foot, but that's quite a wideway, so we'd say 10 foot there. And as you can see, it is very tight, very tight indeed, but I'm going to let that go because I'm the chief civil engineer on this railway, and I say that stays there till the end of time. And no public allowed in there, it's railway building. So there you go. It does look like that's a very tight clearance. So what it is, one side of that building, the roof is slanted like a garden shed. It slopes away The bottom is it's quite a slope there, so I think that's where the clearance is, underneath that lip of that roof. So if I can come around here and get a different shot of that there. Yeah, it's just about clearance. Less than about a mil and a half of clearance, but that's all we need. That's all we need. Okay. Well guys, I know it's been a bit of a short video train wise, but I've really tried to focus on my scenic ideas today. It's not often that I get a moment of madness with major scenery updates, but it has been a busy few days with this railway. I know it's only a little layout, but my goodness, I've crammed so much in this week. I am physically wrecked this week. I've been doing so much of an evening when it's quiet and everyone's either gone to bed or just calmed down. I've managed to get the layout and just do some things. And as you can see, it's really coming on a treat. I'm very pleased with it. So definitely more static grass to follow. And in the meantime, we've repainted the level crossing the correct road colour. We've got the post-war remnants of the World War II Carter siren over there. We've got a stinky pipe there, and there's also one behind the house over there. So yeah, all in all, a very productive day modelling wise. And we've managed to overcome the line side fire that happened earlier on this week. We definitely outruled vandalism. It definitely was a steam loco. But again, I think the signalman will get an extra half hour's pay in his pay packet this week for dashing down those steps and putting out that fire. Well done. Okay. That's quite enough of that, and it's enough from me. Anyway, in a serious note, thank you very much, everybody, ladies and gents, for watching my railway today and sticking with the update. And I hope you've enjoyed today's video. And I definitely will see you soon in another video, be it scenic update or just running some more trains. In the meantime, take care. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. And I'll see you soon in the next episode of The Signal Box. Bye-bye now.